To this day, I thank my grandparents every night in my prayers for sacrificing their lives once again and starting over with raising children. My grandparents provided a lifestyle for me that I could only hope to give to my children. Sports, dance, piano lessons, whatever my little heart was set on, and it was within their means, they did it. But nobody could provide what I needed from my mom and my dad. My mom had her issues, involved in drugs and crime and in and out of jail for about 10 or so years of my life. Going to visit her behind bars and glass in prison, having trailer visits so I can spend time with her on the weekend, are the kind of memories I have of my childhood with my mom. Not painting fingernails or toenails or having her help or input, getting myself all dolled up for a dance or a first date. Having her come home after she got out of prison the first couple times was great, but she kind of sort of went back to her ways, and trust became a huge issue for me. Even though my mom was not there physically for me, she remained a very, very active part of my life. Talking to her every night, writing her letters every day, and visiting her. She did her best under the circumstances and always made the extra effort to let me and my brother know and make sure we knew it was not our fault. My dad, on the other hand, he just disappeared. I don't know what he did within the next 10 years or so. I assume he was being, as some would see it, selfish. But then again, if you can't take care of yourself, how could you expect to take care of your children? He also was into drugs and alcohol and ended up getting clean and sober, yet still not making an effort to be daddy. He tried to come back around starting about my 13th birthday. He'd call on my birthday or my brother's, as well as Father's Day and Christmas. I guess he was trying to put in the effort, but it's not the material things that make you a parent. It's the time and the effort that you put into spending with your child. He just didn't seem to understand that. At about 16 years old, I finally broke down and told my dad, no holds barred, that, all the in and out, saying you'll be here on Saturday, but don't see him till next month, was wearing on me. I had just finally had enough disappointment and pain and told him I would rather have him completely out of my life than in and out of my life. That way I could deal with the pain all at once rather than over and over again every time he lacked a follow-through or felt that his life was more important. That was pretty much the end of my relationship with my dad. The next time I saw him was when I was 20 years old, in labor with my first daughter at the hospital he worked at. He came up there to see me after I delivered. We had a heart-to-heart, and I decided to give him another chance for the sake of my daughter. Unfortunately, he still lacked the follow-through. At that time, I decided I was just going to worry about my relationship with my child, rather than my dad's relationship with his child and his grandchild. Since I stopped putting in the effort, we lost touch. Then at 22 years old, I had my second daughter, again at the hospital he works at. I called him after 2 years of not seeing or speaking to him, hoping he would still want to be a part of our lives. I figured that's the least I can do for my kids. He said he did, but just like when I was younger, he said he was going to come see me in the hospital, but instead the next time I saw him was running into him in traffic with my newborn daughter, who's now 9 months old and walking at the time. Unfortunately, seeing me all grown up with kids of my own did not flip the switch in his head, and to this day my dad still lives about 15 to 20 minutes away from me, and the only time I see him is when I happen to run into him. I guess I'll never truly give up on my dad. I mean, he is my dad. I look at everything as it has a purpose in life, and if my dad and my mom had not gone through the stuff they went through in their lives, I would not be the person that I am today. I give both my mom and my dad major respect for where they have come from to become the people that they are today. My mom got out of prison the last time in 1996, right before my 13th birthday. And it did take a while to reestablish the parent-child relationship, especially because she was stepping back in such a crucial time in my life where I thought I knew everything. I blamed her for everything and wasn't about to let her tell me anything. But she never gave up on me, and that's what a real parent does. My brother took it really hard, the in and out of jail and parents not being there. Though he was grown and started following in my parents' footsteps with the drugs and the crime, I think seeing my brother go through it, it hurt worse than seeing my mom and dad go through it. For the simple fact, he knew as well as I did what the type of lifestyle would bring me, yet he chose the fast lane. That lifestyle had a hold of him for such a long time, it broke my heart to the point where I couldn't just watch it and allow it to happen. But you can only help someone who wants to be helped. And at that time, at 17 years old, I didn't have the means to help. So I had to cut him off in order to better myself.